Hello, I'm Richard Bryan again, and you're back with the new Beetle build-out. Remember, this Beetle is going to be going on a trip from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way down through 8 countries, down and ending up in Panama, Central America. It's going to be quite a trip, quite an adventure, but we have a lot to do on the car before we have it ready to go down. We're going to make the car basically almost like new. It's a 2000-year new Beetle with a TDI 1.9 diesel motor in it. And what we're doing is we're going to overhaul the head, going to overhaul the lower end on the car. So the motor is going to be fresh, and if we need to, we'll put in a new 3+ clutch system in the car, and whatever else it's going to take to get this car back the way we want it, into the condition that we want it and need it to make this long and arduous trip. I hope not dangerous. But since you saw me last time, I've taken the front sheet metal off the car, and there's probably about 8 or 10 bolts under each of the fender wells. First, you take the fender liners out, and then you'll find 8 or 10 bolts that hold the fender on. There's 3 on the bottom, the front of the bumper, and about 8 to 10 on each side here on the top of the fender wells, that you'll just take those bolts off, and then it simply just spreads out, and the entire front end will come off the car. And it's really a simple thing. The process is easy. One person can do it. The book says it takes 2, but one person is enough. And something that I really suggest that you all do is grab a bunch of these baggies, the little Ziploc bags, and what I do is I write on the bag exactly where the bolts and nuts come from. Like this one here is the front bolts and nuts for the fender liner, along with the screws, and it says for left and right, so all of that hardware is in that bag. And these are actually the bolts that come into the front of the fenders that hold them on. It says front fender bolts, and that's the big black torque screws that hold the top in. I probably would have known where they are, but maybe somebody else coming in to help, they'd know where the bolts go also. You can see where I mounted my Morimoto exciters, I guess, for the HID headlights here under the fenders. They're stuck on there with a super double back tape with Velcro on them. And something else that is going to be really interesting is access. Now we have access to just about anything on the car from the front doors up. Perfect access. Lots of room now to get in to replace the lower control arms and the spindles that we're going to put on from the Audi TT. Lots of room to get in there to get to the motor, so we can get the motor and transmission out, get the motor mounts loose, get all the brackets loose, get all the electrical loose, so we can drop the motor out and get it down to overhaul it. Lots of room to do the front mount intercooler now. We can see exactly where it's going to go, how much room we have down there, and we have plenty of room for a huge intercooler to go in the front end of this car. Also, when you tear it apart, you can see if the car was in an accident before, and then how well was it repaired. This car had been in an accident, maybe a couple of them even, before I got the car. And I'll tell you what, whoever put this car together, the body shop that it was repaired at, should be put out of business. About half the fasteners are gone. Half the brackets aren't even hooked up in the car. I owned a body shop for a long time in Los Angeles, and if any of my technicians would have put this car together, they would have been fired on the spot. So if you're getting any body work done, make sure you choose a good body shop, reputable body shop, and then go ahead and check it out during the process. It's your right, it's your money, it's your car. So make sure it's done and done correctly. Not done the way the insurance companies want it, because they want it done as cheaply as possible and as quickly as possible. Get the car back on the road safely and back to original manufacturer specifications. But again, now like I said, we have access for just about everything under the hood and from the doors forward. So we're going to get back to more work, and we're going to have more fun fixing this little new Beetle up so we can take that trip from Atlanta, Georgia, down to Panama, Central America, and do it safely and do it with, well, relative ease of mind that we're going to make it there without having a major breakdown anywhere. So again, bear with me, because we're going to be back with more stuff on this new Beetle build-out for the Atlanta to Panama City, or Panama, Central America. Have a good day, and make sure you join us often. Thank you.